Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. So let's get started. First of all, let us see important topics of the day, and later on we are going to see each and every article from prelims and as well as mains point of view, and at last I will be giving you prelims practice questions also, so that you will be getting an idea like how you have to solve that questions. Okay, let us see the topics of the day. First one is 12,000 fishing harbors to come under CISF cover. So this article is talking about CISF. From now onwards, even fishing harbors will be protected by the CISF. Here you have to know about what is the CISF and when it was formed, what is its mandate, and you have to see for which kind of things CISF will be giving protection. You need to know that. UPSC can ask a question in that area. And this topic is important from defense, from internal security point of view, from GS paper 3. And next topic is Chandrayaan-2 identifies possible presence of ice in lunar south pole. This article is talking about one important mission of moon of ISRO. So it is Chandrayaan-2. Actually, we thought that this Chandrayaan-2 was a failure mission. But even today also this Chandrayaan-2 is sending data related to surface of moon. So now there is one more report sent by this Chandrayaan-2. It says that yes, there is a presence of ice on the subsurface of this moon. So it is very important, and you have to see about the series of Chandrayaan. We have Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3, and in future we are planning Chandrayaan-4 and Chandrayaan-5. So here you have to make a note of this, all these 5 missions of Chandrayaan. Okay. And next topic is one pair of feet, women, work and tuberculosis in Mumbai. This article is talking about tuberculosis and its impact on women. In your society and social justice, will give priority for women and children more. And we will be saying about different schemes which are given by the government for women, children, and what are the problems faced by this women in our society, children in our society. We'll have a more focus on it. So here this article is saying that because of this tuberculosis, when we are comparing men and women are more vulnerable. So here we have to see why women are more vulnerable, and whenever you are writing about any essay related to women or any answer related to vulnerabilities of women, you can add this article as one point. Okay, so it will give wide dimensions related to science and technology. From disease also you are addressing one point related to vulnerability of women. In that way you have to write in multi-dimensional way. And next topic is contradiction within India's cow protection regime. So this article is talking about cow protection in our country, and here you have to see what exactly the problems are faced by cows in our country and what steps taken by government so far to address the vulnerabilities of cow, and what are the things which are left, which are unaddressed. So this topic is important from your polity and as well as governance point of view, because in polity we have certain fundamental duties. It talks about environment, biodiversity also. From that point of view we can study this article. Our next topic is lightning deaths. As you all know that we have different kinds of disasters, and India is vulnerable to both man-made disasters and as well as natural disaster. So one natural disaster is lightning. So here you have to know about what exactly the meaning of lightning, and you have to know the data related to lightning related deaths in our country, and what exactly NDMA guidelines to address this problem of lightning. So it will be a mains based question from disaster management from GS paper 3. So all these are the topics we are going to discuss, and apart from this we have number of articles related to SIR and Supreme Court judgment. In yesterday's class itself we discussed about Supreme Court upheld SIR of Election Commission. There are 3 articles. One is in editorial page, one is in text and context, and one is in another page related to the same thing, but we discussed yesterday's class. So just revise yesterday's notes for that topic. Nothing much added regarding that topic. Okay, see this title is 1200 fishing harbors to come under CISF cover. What is the keyword? Keyword is CISF. What is the full form of CISF? Anyone? Central Industrial Security Force. By name itself, we can understand that this force will be providing security for what? Industries. Right? Okay, from which topic we can see this? We have defense. Defense includes only three. What are those? Army, Navy, Air Force. And apart from that, we have Central Armored Police Forces. In that, we have different types. What are those? We have BSF, we have CRPF, we have Assam Rifles. Next, we have any other? ITBP. Next, ITBP. And even we have CISF under that. Paramilitary forces. If you say defense, defense comes under which ministry? Ministry of Defense. That means Air Force, Army, Navy comes under Ministry of Defense. But these paramilitary forces comes under which ministry? Ministry of Home Affairs. This is when loop will be used by UPSC in framing statements. Okay. Now here we have different paramilitary forces. In that, one is CISF. It is focusing on industry. Okay, my question to you guys, listen carefully. Do we need separate force for protection of industries in our country? What do you think? Why? If yes, why? If no, why? Online students, tell me in the comment box. India is vulnerable to wars. Yes or no? India-Pakistan war, India-China war. And India have key industries. We have capital sector, we have capital industries, we have nuclear power stations like that. So if these are attacked by these enemy countries, can we ensure security for our people? It will cause lots of damage. If they are attacking any nuclear power plant, what happened? Nuclear contamination can happen. Entire environment will be getting affected and it will be having a long-term effect. Yes or no? I think you might have heard about Bhopal gas tragedy. Even today also, people in that area are facing impacts of that gas leak. Even today. Then you can think about what will be the impact if they are attacking these nuclear power plants. Yes, there will be long-lasting impact. Not only for 2 or 3 generations, many generations. Even till centuries also, we can have impact. So because of this, after India-Pakistan war in 1965, we realized that we need to have a separate force that should protect industries and important buildings of our country. Because of that, we established CISF under one act, that is CISF Act. Are you understanding here? So because of that war only, we understood that yes, we have many sensitive industries and as well as important buildings in our country and we have to protect that. For that reason, our government of India enacted CISF Act and later on we established this CISF force. Now tell me guys, which are protected, which places will be protected by this CISF? Any idea? Yes, airports. Yes, you can see the CISF personnel in airports. Very good. Next one is nuclear plants. Yes, next. Okay, plants. Okay, next. And even recently, Parliament building is also under security of the CISF. Okay, now if UPSC wants to give a question on this update, how it can give? Come on. Consider the following statements regarding CISF. Is a possible question or not? Under that, it can give 2 to 4 statements and may ask which of the above statements are correct. 2 statements are correct including option 2. 3 statements are correct including 1 and 3. No correct statement. All statements are correct. Yes, this is a new pattern of giving options I showed in my class, right? That is a one possible question. Second possible question, now they are adding this fishing harbors also. Why fishing harbors are important? Because they are present in coastal areas. And you know, Mumbai terror attacks, this terrorist came through this sea route itself. That means we need to have extensive protection across the coastal areas also. So because of this, now This coastal area related fishing harbors also coming under CISF. If UPSC wants to ask a question to include this point, how it can give? Consider the following, and they may give you 4 to 5 areas, and it may ask which of the above comes under security of CISF. Possible thing, in that one option will be for sure fishing harbors. Are you understanding here? So in this way, you have to try to frame question and you have to think like an examiner. If you think like an examiner, then only you can do this. And one thing I'm very surprised. Yesterday I was going through all the test series we made, right? So we gave around 39 tests, no? 39 tests for GS and 3 for CSAT. It is around 42 tests. In that there are more than 36 questions directly came. I am saying directly means even statements are exactly matching. Even statements are exactly matching, and there are other 5 or 6 questions which are related to that concept. But it is not exactly matching, but we gave the question related to that. For example, Bharat's forecasting system. Consider the following statements. Like that, around 5 topics are matching with that concept. And next one is from our current affairs magazines. There are again 5 more questions. Overall, there are 47 to 48 questions directly came. I will show that. And I will be also sending you that PDF in your group also, so that you can cross check what exactly the question is and which question we gave. And then you will realize, I neglected our test series. And one more thing is, actually this time we launched a test series for only 1500 rupees. Yes, you know, only for 1500 rupees we launched this test series, and many students they might thought that only 1500 rupees outside 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, what will be there in this test series? But around 46 to 48 questions were directly from our test series. And even for the students who came for test series, we also gave magazines. No, you know that. Class students, you know, we gave already magazines. If they have covered this test series thoroughly and magazines, for sure they will be clearing this exam. I'll show that, and I will also make a video and I'll showcase that in the class. Then you will realize. You will not neglect the test which we keep. Why? Because I'm analyzing this current affairs since 2019, guys. Every day since 2019. I know like what exactly UPSC can give from current affairs. So no, with experience we can. I analyzed this all these PYQs to make this test series. I only made all these questions. I spent till night 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3:30, even 4 to make all this test series. And finally, I got a result of around 48 questions which are finally directly from our test series. So whatever the test we keep, guys, please don't ignore that test. And whatever the work I tell, please do that work. If you do that work, if you're hardworking, if you're consistent, if you're not skipping even a single test, for sure I can assure you that you will clear this exam. And I will be showing by today evening. Yesterday we finalized all those topics and we wrote even question numbers, everything along with the test. Today we'll make PDF of that. Today entirely I will do on that only. I will sit on that entirely. Yesterday I sit on that only. I and Pujita both, because Pujita did editing work she did, you know, right? Pujita will be doing editing work here. I will be doing questions, and we both know which questions are there. So yesterday we both sat together and we were on this work only, and we finalized the numbers yesterday, and today we'll make the PDF of that. Maybe by today night I will be sharing you that PDF in the group. Just go through that, then you can understand the importance of our test series. Okay, and even one question was like very unexpected. They gave in this way, consider the following United Nations organizations. They gave 4 and they asked which of the above organization got Nobel Prize twice. No one expected, but that is there directly in our test series. Okay, don't ignore our test series. Okay, so just I'm warning you, if you want to clear examination, for sure test series is important. And even the students who came from outside for test series, I repeatedly said revise our test series. That's it, you can clear examination. I personally talked to them and I said revise our own test series. That's it, nothing more. So like that also I talk to every person who came from outside also. But if you listen, you will get marks. If you leave it, you will be getting suffered. Ultimately, that is in your hands. But I will be showing with proof this time. Okay, never I did this, but the first time I did this, and I'm very, very happy, and I'm even very proud today to say all these things. Okay, so in this way, 2 questions can be asked from CISF. Okay, so the way that I'm teaching, the way I'm imparting the knowledge, so try to understand. So try to think in this way. If you think in this way, you can. Because all the questions I framed, that is exactly matching with UPSC. That means if you think in this way, if you're thinking in examiner way, obviously you can do this prelims. Okay, think in that way. Try to impart that kind of thinking capacity. See PYQs, and you have to think like if you have to give the question on that, how can you give question? So in that way you have to think while reading your current affairs magazines. Okay. Okay, now let us see the context. This article is saying that nearly 1200 fishing harbors and landing sites are all said to be brought under oversight of CISF. Now, whatever the important fishing harbors are there, around 1200 fishing harbors, they are coming under this oversight of CISF, and it is coming under the part of, as I said, Home Ministry. It is not under Defense Ministry. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding CISF. Okay, CISF comes under what? CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Forces. And as you all know that the CAPF comes under which ministry? Ministry of Home Affairs. And next one here is it will provide security to various critical infrastructure, very, very important infrastructure. It will be providing security. And they include around 70 airports and around 361 important national installations. And this one is where is the headquarters? UPSC has a tendency to ask headquarters. If you see PYQs, they will ask headquarters. Even in 2026 question paper, there was a question related to BIMSTEC. And they asked about headquarters of so and so, culture related, like that they asked 4. And now you may also get headquarter based question on this CAPF. Okay, it is in New Delhi. And they will ask motto. Yes, AI Impact Summit, what is the tagline? People, planet and progress. They changed planet with planning. Simple word, PPP only. It is planet, it is planning. So even they will ask this motto. Motto is very important. If there is any summit next 1 year, you have to know even what is the theme of that summit. And even if we will celebrate different days, International Women's Day, International Child Day, or like that, even you have to see what is the theme of that year's day. UPSC has a tendency to ask on that as well. Okay, the motto of this is protection and security. Okay, next one, if you see about establishment, after this Indo-Pakistan war, India-Pakistan war in year 1965, at that time we realized that we need to have a separate force for protection of critical infrastructure or installation in our country. And later on, our government enacted CISF Act in year 1968, and in 1967 we came up with the CISF. Okay, it formed under an act. Please make a note, CISF Act of 1968. CISF Act of 1968. And next one is this act was amended in year 1983, and later on this CISF declared as Armed Forces of Union. These are some important facts that you have to remember. And now if you see structure, organizing structure, this CISF is headed by whom? IPS officer. That means if you become an IPS officer at a very young age, you may also be the head of the CISF. It is based on the age at which you enter into services. If you are entering at a very low age, you will reach very high rank. If you are entering at a late age, means you will not reach that high rank. Yes, you know this, right? So here headed by IPS officer with a rank of DG, and this DG will be assisted by additional DG. And this force is divided into seven sectors, and they will give protection for airports. And it is divided into north sector, west sector, south, central, east, and as well as west. So like that, they will be providing security for important installations, and as well as they will provide security for airports. Okay, see this guys, see the title. Chandrayaan-2 identifies possible presence of ice in lunar south pole. Lunar is nothing but related to moon. Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse idea, right? So lunar south pole. What is the south pole? If we take this as Earth, here we have north pole, here we have south pole. In the same way for moon also we have north pole and south pole. And in this Chandrayaan mission, what is the aim of this Chandrayaan mission? To study about moon, and especially we are going to study about presence of water or not. Why? Because if we want to ensure the existence of life, we need water. So here this Chandrayaan moon is a moon mission which we are studying about moon's surface, and we are going to identify whether there is a presence of water or not on this surface. Okay, in this Chandrayaan-2, what we did? We launched this Chandrayaan-2 mission, and the aim of this Chandrayaan mission is soft landing. So if you talk about landing of this kind of things, we have two types of landings. One is soft landing and one is harsh landing. What is soft landing? You know this housefly, no? That slowly come and it will fall, or else mosquito. That is soft landing. Harsh means, you know, the skating, go and it will go like that. That is harsh landing. So actually the aim of this Chandrayaan-2 mission is soft landing on the South Pole region. We reached that South Pole, but unfortunately it is not soft landing, it was harsh landing. So because of this, we consider this Chandrayaan-2 mission as a failure mission. But even though this Chandrayaan-2 is sending data related to moon surface. So now recently it sent one data. It said that yes, there is a possibility of presence of ice. Okay, because of this, it is in news. Okay, if UPSC wants to give a question on this, how it can give a question? Think like an examiner and tell me. We have 5 missions. They may give you choose the correct answer based question. This time there were choose the correct answer based question, no? On one side they'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side what it is, and they will ask you to match. In our childhood days we used to draw this kind of lines in Telugu especially. The same way they may ask you question. That is the one possible question. Second possible question is consider the following statements regarding Chandrayaan-2, and they'll give you 2 to 3 statements. In that statement, which statement they'll focus? Failure or success? Harsh landing or soft landing? Yes, if you know that point, obviously you can eliminate the statements. Like that, you have to remember the key point. It is impossible, I will accept, it is impossible to remember all the things and everything. But you have to remember at least the important point, why it is in news. If you remember that, obviously, if you know that, you can keep that statement or you can eliminate that statement. So in that way, you can come to a right answer. Okay, at least the important points related to that you have to remember. And remaining by common sense, by elimination techniques, you can do. Are you understanding here? Okay, now let us see this article. Nearly 6 years after it was launched, India's second moon mission called as Chandrayaan-2 continues to provide valuable information related to moon. Okay, and recently what information it sent? It said that there is a possible presence of subsurface ice in lunar south pole. On this lunar south pole, there is a possibility of ice. So that is a report which sent by this Chandrayaan-2 now. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Chandrayaan-2. Okay, who launched this mission? It is also a possible question. We have different agencies like NASA, European Space Agency, JAXA, Japanese Space Agency, Roscosmos, we have Russia Space Agency, and we have Chinese Space Agency, right? So here this Chandrayaan mission is of India's, that is nothing but ISRO's. UPSC can change the statement Chandrayaan is a mission of NASA. Chandrayaan is mission of European Space Agency. ISRO is collaborating with NASA to launch this. Like that, it can change this organization. That is a one loophole. You have to identify that. This Chandrayaan is solely of ISRO's. And when we launched this in year 2019, and here what is the aim of this Chandrayaan-2 is to achieve soft landing. That too on the South Pole, and it is entirely indigenous technology. That means entire this satellite had been made with our own technology, indigenous technology. That is the one important point that you have to remember. And what are the objectives of this? The first one here is we have to get high resolution mapping of the moon, like where exactly things are there. We have volcanoes or not, we have mountains or not, hills or not, craters or not, lakes or not, like how the earth's surface is. We have to know entirely the surface of moon. That is nothing but high resolution mapping of moon. That is the first important aim. And next one is study of lunar mineralogy and composition, like which elements are there. If there are rocks, obviously on our earth also we have different types of rocks, and in different types of rocks we can get different types of minerals. Some rocks will be having coal, for example sedimentary rocks. Igneous rocks will have minerals. So like that we are also going to understand lunar mineralogy, like whether we have magnesium or iron or cobalt or different things. And next one is detection and distribution of water, very important. We are going to detect water molecules, and even we are going to map water ice. Okay, next one is exploration of lunar south polar region. Okay, because this south pole had been unexplored region till now. India is having an aim to explore this south pole region. And next one is we want to understand lunar exosphere. For example, Earth is having atmosphere. In atmosphere we have different layers. What are the different layers of atmosphere of Earth? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, like that. Yes, in the same way we are going to understand atmosphere of moon, like moon also having gases or not. If gases are present, which kind of gases are there? Will that gases helpful for sustain of life or not? And next one here is we are also focusing on deep space technology related experiments also. So these are the aims and objectives of Chandrayaan-2 mission. Clear? Okay, see this next article guys. One pair of feet. Women, work and tuberculosis in Mumbai. What does this article is talking about? It is talking about tuberculosis. What is this tuberculosis? Simply we'll call it as TB. TB is caused by bacteria. What is the name of that bacteria? Anyone? What is the name of the bacteria which causes TB? Salmonella typhi causes typhoid, not TB. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is bacteria which causes TB. Right? Okay, in this TB we have two types of TB. Normally if I say TB, which organ will be damaged by this TB? Only lungs? No, not exactly. In TB we have two types of TB. One is pulmonary TB. Next one is extrapulmonary TB. Everyone has a misconception that TB causes only cough and lung disease. No, even it can affect your eye, even it can affect your brain, other body parts can be affected. So if it is affecting your respiratory system, then that is called as pulmonary TB. Other than this respiratory system, if it is affecting your digestive system, if it is affecting your heart system or brain system, nervous system, excretory system, then that is called as extrapulmonary. Apart from lungs, it is affecting other organs in the body. Okay, now tell me guys, what is the cure for TB? Do we have cure for TB? Treatment do we have? Yes, we have treatment. But what is the problem with the treatment of TB? We have to take multiple drugs. Have you ever seen a patient of TB? How many tablets they will take? Minimum 5 tablets per day. Minimum 5 tablets. That too high dose based on the level of TB. Okay, based on the stages of TB, right? Okay, so here the major problem here is they have to take tablet every day without miss. Minimum course is minimum 6 months. Maximum we don't know. And is that possible for human to take consistently 6 months of tablet? Are we that much sincere, consistent? We'll miss, we'll go here and there, we'll go for trips, we'll go for functions. So if we miss tablets in between, what happened? That will lead to antimicrobial resistance. That means earlier whatever the tablets you took, if you stop in between, earlier tablets will not at all work on this TB. Again, what we have to do? Again, we have to go for test. Again, from starting, from day 1, again we have to change the codes of the tablets and we have to again continue for 6 to 9 months. Okay, the major problem with this TB is long course of medicine that will lead to antimicrobial resistance. Okay, that is some basics. Okay, now let us come to this article. It is talking about women. What is the link between women and TB? Is there any link? Like male, female is getting TB. What's wrong in that? No? Then why this one pair of feet women work in tuberculosis in Mumbai? What it is saying? What is the article means? Title means? Anyone think and tell me. You are intelligent. Online students, tell me in the comment box fast. Already it has been 32 minutes. Okay, so this article is saying that if we compare male and female, if male and female are getting TB, who will be getting treated first? Obviously, male will be getting treated first and women will be having a lot of stigma in society. Because of that, women will not come forward to get checked. Yes or no? Because in a family, who plays a very important role? Female plays a very important role. And even the social gatherings are happening, who will play important role? Female will be playing important role. If female has TB, what happens? Ammo, TB vachindanta. Yes or no? If male got means that male will not that much bother about it, but female will be like bothering much. So because of that, there will be a lot of social stigma. Because of that fear of social stigma, they will be not getting proper healthcare access. So because of this, they are 1 feet back when we are comparing with that of men. Okay, now let us see this article. This article is saying that India TB report 2023 notes that women experience diagnostic delays up to 2 to 3 months because of fear of social stigma. Because of fear of social stigma, till the symptoms worsen, women will not go to hospital. Women will not get that diagnostic test done because of social stigma. I am not telling this, it is the report of, please make a note of that report, India TB report 2023. India TB report 2023. India TB report 2023 notes women experience diagnostic delays. Women experience diagnostic delays up to 2 to 3 months. Up to 2 to 3 months. Up to 2 to 3 months due to social stigma. Okay, next one is, One more report is saying that 40% of female TB patients are facing discrimination, including job loss or family rejection. If woman is getting TB, there is a family rejection, and even the place at their work, there is also job loss. Around 40% of women who are suffering with this TB are facing this problem. And next one is there is no correct treatment, like sometimes there will be wrong drugs, improper dosage, single medication instead of combination therapy that will leads to multi-drug resistant TB. Okay, further one more problem is if we are not going to a right hospital, if they are not giving the right medicine, if they are not giving the combination medicine, if they are giving only single drug, if they are not giving dose as per the stage, then what happens? That symptoms will be worsen more. Even National Health Family Survey conducted between 2019 and 2021, which says that women are facing problem related to transportation, and because of this 60% of women, they are not getting proper health care if they are suffering with this TB. Because of lack of transportation in rural areas, they are not getting proper health care. And even Chennai study found that most of the clinics, evening hours, treatment completion rates are not universal. So because of this, even women are not getting proper availability of healthcare practitioners, proper medicines. So because of this, women are more vulnerable if they are getting any disease compared to that of male. Yes or no? And women have the patience. According to my personal experience, I should not say this, but women have lots of patience, and only in the severe cases, only they will say that I am facing this. Unless and until the severe case, they never. Even recently, I got in throat infection. Despite of 15 days after my struggle, one day like I cannot even speak. On that day, I went to hospital, and I had cannula for 3 days for my hand. Even though I came to class, I continued. Everything went on that pace only. Because of this patience, I always feel that why women got this patience. It should be like male only. No, male and female both are humans, but male will not show any patience. They will always shout, 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 shout. But always women has to bear that, bearing. Why women got this patience? It is unfair. So I will be having, this is my personal feeling. I don't know. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Okay, see this next article. Yeah, see this. Contradictions within India's cow protection regime. It is talking about cows, guys. Cow. Go to history. Where we'll study about cow in ancient history. During Rigvedic time period, cattle is considered as the wealth. Yes or no? Cattle is considered as wealth. And the killing of cattle accepted? Not accepted. In Rigvedic time. Yes. But now what is happening? Slaughtering of cows? Yes. And what is happening now is, why we will rear cattle? For milk products. So if cattle is becoming old, what we are doing? We are selling that cattle to slaughter, and we are going for slaughtering of cows. I am talking fact here. You have to accept this, right? Okay. Or else what they are doing, if they are having much what should I say, attention towards the cattle, if they are having bond between that cattle, if they can't sell to the slaughterhouse, what they'll do? They will leave the cows. Because of that only, the stray cows are increasing on the road. Even in the urban areas, we can see stray cows. What are they eating? Plastic. And because of eating of plastic and unnecessary, normally cattle will be feeding on green grass or like straw, that is dried grass, etc. in the rural areas. And even whatever the plant products are there, they will be consuming that. But what is happening in the urban areas? Are they getting green grass? What are they eating? In the dumping yards, in the dumping site, what are the food waste, decomposed things, they are eating that. And even many a times the plastic. Will this plastic be digested? then what is happening? Have you ever seen the stray animals are having big tumors on their legs, on their bellies, like that? Because of this kind of plastic ingestion and as well as improper food, they are getting lots of cancers. You know, plastic causes cancer, no? So in that way, this cattle are also getting cancer. Are we protecting cows in our country? That is the question asked here. Okay, now let us see this article. This article is raising lots of questions and there are lots of controversial questions are also there, controversial topics, but I don't want to take, but I want to tell you in simple what exactly this article is saying. And think on that lines, whatever the questions I'll ask at the end. Okay, see here, this article is saying that there are hundreds of cow carcasses. Carcasses is nothing but dead bodies of cows are seen at dumping sites in Rajasthan Jaisalmer region. And the reason for this deaths of the cows is starvation. What is starvation? Not, there is no proper availability of food, because of that starvation related deaths happening in cows, and there are hundreds of dead bodies of cows are seen in these dumping sites in Rajasthan. That is the main point or idea of this article. And not only that, even in Chhattisgarh also we are having this similar kind of condition. That means whatever the preservation steps taken by the government, are they reaching the target? There is no proper preservation of cows. And even the West Bengal also we have new government, that is BJP government. BJP government issued a stringent notice. What is that notice? Animal Slaughter Control Act. Animal Slaughter Control Act. Why? Because West Bengal is sharing boundary with Bangladesh. Bangladesh is which country? Islamic country. Cow vigilantism and export of beef, which happens at a very high rate across the border of that Bangladesh. Sorry, Bangladesh and West Bengal border, it happens. So because of this, recently change of government. Now BJP government is Hindutva politics. In Hindus, we'll always worship cow. Cow is a sacred animal, right? So now what that BJP government did in West Bengal is, they gave up a stringent notice, a strict notice for Animal Slaughter Control Act. In this act, it said that if cows has to be slaughtered, means they should be over 14 years. If they are unfit, then only we have to go for slaughter. That is the act which had been said in this West Bengal region. And not only that, among 20 Indian states also, cow slaughter had been banned. There are some exceptions in northeastern states. Okay, and next one here is, even related to cow slaughter, after 2014, that means after this BJP party came into power at the central level, they made stringent punishments and even life imprisonment for cow slaughter, like that. That means it is like purely Hindutva based, we can see that. Okay, so now this article is saying that there are a lot of contradictions which are going on related to this cow slaughter, and in most of the social media also, in YouTube also, this kind of videos which are showing this cow carcasses are becoming viral. So why there are contradictions here is, so here whatever the law came up by the government, which is focusing on increasing of electoral gains over effective cattle preservation. So here, you know, India is having which religion more? Hindu religion more. If any political party wants to win, obviously they have to get votes of Hindu people. So BJP is Hindutva related party and it is gaining votes through this kind of things. But on ground there is no cattle preservation. That is a one contradiction. One question which is asked by this author here is, yes, you are saying that we should not slaughter cows, and you are saying that yes, if you slaughter cows, we are going to give you hefty penalties and punishments. But on ground, here animals are dying because of starvation. You are saying not to slaughter, but on another side they are dying. So you are not taking proper preservation steps related to this cows. That is the first contradiction. Will you accept this? And next one is strict bans. Especially in some states, they are having strict bans Okay, but on another side, what is happening? Male cattle is declining. Okay, if you're talking about cattle, we have both male and female. On one side, we are protecting only female cattle for next generation. But what about male cattle? Male cattle are decreasing in number. That is the second important contradiction. And next one is religious claims versus historical doctrinal nuisance. So here cow is revered as a sacred animal. Even in our Hindu text also, we have some evidences that we worship this cow. And even today also, we will celebrate the Sankranti festival. In that festival, one day is dedicated to this cattle. Cattle means even today, we are worshipping this cow as sacred. And even we have goshalas, and even we have temples. In that temples, they will be made in the cows, like that, no? So even today also, we are worshipping cows as part of Hindu practice. And next one here is, there are some text, even the history called as Yagnavalka text, which is saying that yes, beef is allowed. Okay, like that, we are having some contradictory historical practices also in our country. And next one here is one more thing. Farmer will be rearing cattle for milk products. If cattle is not able to give the milk, then what happens? Obviously, it will lead to economic loss for farmer. Yes or no? Providing food, providing water, providing some nutrition to cow, it will be like extra burden on farmer. And in India, government target is to double the farmer income. But here, if they are maintaining these old cows which are not efficient, then what happen? Will that increase the income of farmer? No, if they are selling to the slaughterhouse, at least they will be getting some amount of money. So like that, there are lots of contradictions which are going on related to this videos which are becoming viral in social media related to cow dead bodies in Rajasthan and as well as Chhattisgarh, guys. So think, guys, what do you think? Like whether will you accept government is not taking proper steps for preservation? And if you are a district collector, if your district is also having the same problem of dying of lots of cattle because of starvation, or like cattle is having this kind of different problems, so which kind of steps you can take to conserve this cattle? Are you understanding? So in this way you can get a case study in your ethics. Okay, see this next article, guys. Can you see this image? What is this? It is lightning. In Telugu we'll call as pidugu. I don't know in AP what they'll call. In Telangana it is called as pidugu. Pidugu addadi. Pidugu only in AP also. Okay, it is called as lightning. So here you have to see about what is lightning, and you have to see about data related to lightning related deaths in our country, and what exactly NDMA guidelines given to address this problem of lightning. This will be a means based question purely. Lightning is nothing but rapid electrostatic discharge. So whenever the clouds will form, so whenever these clouds are coming in contact and rubbing towards each other, what happens? Ions plus and minus will be getting formed. If plus and minus contact means what happens? Obviously formation of electricity. Then what happens whenever the winds are moving at a very high speed, on the top of the trees also this charges will form. If this charges from the cloud and this tree meets, that will form this kind of lightning, right? That is a concept you will study in your geography mainly. Okay, so this, if you see the trends of lightning is the largest killer natural hazard in our country. In our country, lightning is the largest natural hazard, especially during the summer period. You will see lots of articles, especially during this monsoon time, in this early June, last week of May. At that time, we will see whenever this rainfall starts. At that time, we can see this kind of lightning, and mostly you will be seeing articles related to this lightning deaths. Because of this pidugu, around 3 members died in this area, 5 members died in the area. So who will be like vulnerable for this lightning? The people who stay outside. Who will stay outside? Animal grazers, yes, and even farmers. Farmers and animal grazers are more vulnerable to this kind of lightning, because if rainfall happens, where they'll go and directly sit under the tree or stand under the tree, and this ions will be formed on these tall surfaces. Obviously what happened? Lightning can happen, Because of that, the deaths can happen, right? Okay, so here if you see the data, every year around 2000 deaths happen because of this lightning, and we don't know officially exactly how many deaths can happen. And India witnessed around 400% rise of lightning strikes. When we are comparing with 2019 to 2025, in these 5 to 6 years, 400% increase happened, increase of deaths. And hotspot areas are like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab and Delhi, and even Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Odisha also we can see number of lightning related to deaths. And here you have to see what are the NDMA guidelines. First one is early warning system, very important. And recently Bharat forecast system is also early warning system of ISRO that came in 2026 prelims paper. Okay, so we have to improve our early warning system. Who has to do this? IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, has to focus on early warning system, and we have to give forecast before 48 hours at least. Like normally earlier days we used to have radio, ee roju varsham padutundi, vadiyalu aneskokanడి, not go outside, coastal areas, fishermen don't go into water. So like that we have to give proper early warning. And next one is public advisories. What should be the do's and don'ts whenever you are having these thunderstorms, lightning time? That means simply we have to enhance awareness. And next one is community centric approach. We have to provide training for disaster managers, volunteers and panchayats in that area. And next one is we have to go for lightning resilient India campaign, like education, awareness, capacity building. And next one is government is coming up with lightning safety program, and which is targeting high risk states, and they're going for mapping, vulnerability mapping and electric field meters, alert poles, etc. They are going for developing all this so that in future we can reduce some lightning related deaths. Okay, so this will be your 10-mark question in your mains, guys, this time. See this question, answer this question. Which of the following installations can be secured by CISF, nuclear power plants, space establishments, metro rail networks, private industrial units on request? I didn't add it here, fishing harbors. What is the answer? All? Or can we remove anything? I think you might be having this doubt on metro rail network, but it is there in 3 options. But here you have private industrial units on request. They said on request. On request means yes, they can. That means you cannot eliminate this 4. So answer will be 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, all is right. So in this format you can get a question. Okay. Yes, see this next question, guys. With reference to Chandrayaan-2, consider the following statements. First one is mission was launched by GSLV Mark III. One objective was to study lunar water ice in polar regions. Vikram lander successfully soft landed on the moon. If you don't know one, keep it aside and see other 2 statements. Second is right or wrong? Yes, second is for sure right. It is one of the objective. Yes, that is the thing. Then can I remove this? And say this third one. You have left with 3 options. Did it successfully made soft landing? No. Because of that only we are saying it is failure? No. Remove this 3. Answer is 1 and 2. So even if you are not knowing or not sure about one statement, leave it and read the next one and try to eliminate options. This exam is like entirely elimination, or how you are approaching the questions. That is very important. I said what should be the strategy also clearly. So if you do that, for sure you will be not getting any problem in prelims, guys. That is my 100% assurance. Okay, that's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you want to start your UPSC preparation in our academy, we are going to start GS Prelims Cum Mains Foundation course on 8th of this June, guys. and we are providing on both offline and online. And if you want to join this course and if you have any queries or questions, please do contact on this number 8074765513. Or else if you want to meet me directly, you can come to our office, which is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, exactly above Vikas Book Center, second and third floor, guys. And I wish you all the best.